Just stop blocking it. I'm Brian Withers, empowerment coach, trainer, and author. Well, in many videos, I talk about the fact that the things that you want are set up for you to receive. They're on their way to you, and the manifestation of them is a byproduct of going through your day and being in a positive state of mind. So, in this video, I just want to highlight again what we do that we block that natural process. And if we stop doing what's blocking, then the obvious thing is we start receiving, and life is a whole lot easier to receive than it is to try to make things happen, because that's not what we're really here for, and so it doesn't work out in any easy way for us. We are here as receivers, and so we want to take away anything that blocks us from the receiving. So to illustrate this point, I want to talk about, let's use a job situation. Now, I could use anything. Could be your health. You could be running a business. Could be about a relationship. Any aspect of life, but just to simplify it here, I'll just use this icon to represent a job situation. So you don't like the job, and you don't like the hours, you don't like the supervisor, you don't like the working conditions, a lot of things you don't like about it. And that's no big deal at all, because that just is natural contrast. We have an experience, and we have awareness of what we don't like, and that's the very natural process of life. And so when we hear ourselves say we don't like something, that means our inner being has heard that and then sets up the new experience that we do want in vibrational reality. And whenever you know what you don't want, then obviously the opposite side of that basically is what you do want. So we want to realize that for sure, that when we don't want something, that it's automatically set up for us to receive. Now, I want to just go in, before I go deeper into this slide, I want to go over here, and I want to say again, I say this many times, but physical reality is what we grow up. We just grow up with this piece. We think this is all of life. And so what we have to work with is physical reality. And if we're going to get something, we're going to make it happen. It's going to be on the basis of what's here as a physical reality. And of course, you can see right away that that's all about lack and scarcity, because there's only so many physical resources. And there's X amount of people that want to do certain things. So all of a sudden you can see competition, all that thing coming up. But you see, when you bring in non-physical reality, this part below here, which is, it's really infinite, that's total reality. And if you're not thinking about non-physical reality, which is, the creative process tells us about not only physical reality, but non-physical reality, and how they both work together, so that we can live the joyous life of expansion that we came for. If you're not factoring this in, then it's going to be virtually impossible for you to get to a positive mind focus on anything for any sustained amount of time, and feel good about where you are, and find the positive aspects of it. Because without this piece, this non-physical understanding, all those universal elements, you really think that you're on your own, and then you're just trying to make it happen. You're trying to figure things out, and that's not your job. Your job is to feel good, and your inner being takes care of orchestrating all the details that you can receive what you want. So you absolutely must get yourself very fluent in the creative process, so that you know how life works and all of the elements that are working for you. And then you'll very, very clearly understand the power of a positively focused mind. Now, just to illustrate this a little further, if you take a ship, a very, very large ship, massive, built with many things in it, engines, so many things go together for a ship to work. And yet, the captain will stand on the bridge, and with very few instructions or instruments to operate, the captain will maneuver the ship in many, many ways. And it's like that for us in our life, our mind is that powerful that if we use it in a positively focused way, we're causing so much to move through universal resources that are orchestrating and setting things up for us. It is very similar to this ship. So again, with few movements on the bridge for the captain, can maneuver this massive, massive ship that the captain itself is just a smidgen of a piece of the ship. It's to move that entire large structure and all the things that go on it. And so that gives you an idea, just trying to get this into your mind about how much power you can yield, you can move around, how much power is behind you that will move things around for you if you will simply use a positive focused mind. That will put so much universal resource into play that will go to work for you and maneuver things around you so that you're at right place, right time, and everything's working out for you. It's a very similar situation in terms of again, as the captain uses the control panels and whatnot, in very small ways compared to the size of the ship, what happens on that ship. And when you operate your life with a positive focused mind, you are creating a similar effect where you're moving massive amounts of resources in this universe to deliver to you what you want in very, very pleasant ways. So you must understand. Can you imagine if the captain didn't understand the workings of a ship? And so instead of doing the changes to the instruments on the bridge, the captain would run to the engine room or run to this room or run to that room and try to make things happen differently so the ship would move in a different way. I mean, it just sounds silly, doesn't it? But quite frankly, that's what we do in our life. When we're trying to make things happen and figure them out, it would be akin to the captain running around on the ship to deal with various operations of the ship to get it to go in different directions or faster or slower, all these kinds of things. And we know that's absolutely ridiculous, but really, if you stand back and look at this, we kind of do that kind of thing in our life. We ignore the powers that are behind us of the universe, all the resources, and we take it upon ourselves to try to figure everything out and make it happen based on this physical reality piece when there's all of this piece. So I wanted to really hit home on this. This is a very, very important thing, because if you're not understanding this piece, then even a lot of my videos may not even make a lot of sense to you, because this is what I'm talking about, this larger, broader perspective of life. I'm factoring in non-physical reality and all of the pieces that the creative process shows us. And so everything I talk about is from that perspective. And if you're not fully understanding that, then a lot of the videos may not make a lot of sense to you. So again, you want to get very fluent with the creative process. And again, one place you can do that is in my book, The Book of Life. Okay, back to this, because now, see, that's a foundational part. Once you know that, and then I talk about this video, it's going to make a lot more sense to you. Because we get focused on a job. Let's say we're in that job and I said we don't like this and we don't like that. But now, because we know the creative process, that broader perspective, we know our inner being heard us, our inner being set up the vibrational version of it, the new, improved, preferred version of it. And it's all good to go. But when we don't either know the creative process, or we're not referencing it, but we're just referencing faulty beliefs, and then we have thoughts like, well, I don't know if I can have the job that I want, and even if I do, it's going to be hard, and maybe I'm stuck here, and there's just not much going on in the job market, and if I only had more money, I could just quit this job, and I wouldn't even have to work. So you see, that those thoughts are nowhere near anything to do with the creative process and the way life works. And so as soon as your inner being hears you think a thought like that, it's calling you out and saying that is absolutely not true. And the way it lets you know that it's thinking that and trying to, or making you aware that it's not true, is with a negative emotion. So you have a negative feeling thought. These thoughts, as you think them, are going to bring in an emotion, powerlessness or disappointment, or doubt and worry and fear and all the rest. Several different emotions could come in with these kinds of thoughts. And so when we hear ourselves say these thoughts in conjunction with what we know about the creative process, a negative emotion, we just want to say, stop it. Say to ourselves, stop it. Stop talking like that to yourself. None of that's true. It's not one bit of that is true. Say to yourself, my inner being has set up all the details. My inner being knows what I want. Set up the path, set up everything for me to receive what I want. And so it's no big deal that I'm in this job and I don't like it. It's no big deal whatsoever. I can focus on the positive aspects of it. I can be excited and expecting and anticipating the receiving of the details of the path of this job, which are today. It could be today. If I get myself in a positive, focused mind, I could be starting to receive the details today. And they may not look like the details that are taking me to that job, but there will be details that are interesting and fun and enjoyable. They'll feel good, and any of that means I'm on the path to receiving. So just as a side note, what I want to say here is even the job that this person has presently, it is a manifestation of their energy, right? So everything in your life right now, you look at your life, you vibrated yourself into it. Nothing's coming at you. Nothing's coming into your world by accident or some random happening, or it's none of that. It all came to you. You vibrated everything in. And now, if you want something different to manifest, you're going to have to vibrate yourself out of it. And the way that you vibrate yourself out of a situation is by vibrating yourself into something different. And that's this vibrational reality. So how do you vibrate yourself into this? Well, the way you vibrate yourself out of this job you don't like and into the job that you do like is by knowing this, that it's there for you to receive, and everything around that is good. It feels good to you to think about it, about the path of details that are set up for you to receive. And then you focus on the positive aspects of this job, as I talk about in other videos. So something you really want to say to yourself when you hear yourself thinking thoughts that don't feel good, and a negative emotion is a pretty obvious thing in your mind. So you just want to say, stop it. That's a great habit to get into with regard to stopping these kinds of thoughts in their tracks. And then again, sometimes I say you can take a deep breath, breathe easy, breathe slow, maybe even repeat a word like calm or easy or peace. Just something for a couple of minutes, a minute or 2 minutes, just to get a little bit of a reset, get some space from those thoughts, just slow that all down. And then you start thinking about thoughts that your inner being is thinking, like everything is set up to work out for you. This job caused you to be clear about what you want. Now I know exactly what you want. I've got it set up. I've got the path, all the resources, everything it's going to take for you to receive that job. It's all set up, all easy for you to receive the inspired action, the right timing. Everything is all in place. And so that's the kind of thoughts that you want to bring in, and then you're going to feel the relief. Because with those earlier thoughts, you see, your vibration was high, and then you started thinking those thoughts, and then you took it down to low vibration. And when you do that, then you're sending a message to the law of attraction. It's going to hook you up with the proverbial train wreck. In this case, what it means is you're just vibrating the same as that job, and it's just, you're going to stay there. It's just going to keep manifesting over and over and over again. Whereas if you start talking with yourself, as I just indicated, from your inner being's perspective, your vibration is going to come back up. And then when that happens, then the signal that goes to the law of attraction is this high vibration signal. And then instead of going there, then it comes down here, and the brick wall comes out of the way because you're not blocking, right? When you think thoughts like this, you're blocking the receiving of what you want. But when you start thinking from the perspective that your inner being has, and the creative process tells us, Now you've opened up everything up. Your high vibration to the law of attraction. It can connect you with the details that your inner being has set up. And now you're in the receiving mode. Now you're in the process of receiving. So that's really the message for today. You just want to stop blocking all the goodness that is on its way to you. So I talked about a job here, but you could be running a business, and you have a vision for how you want it to run, but yet there's conditions going on that you vibrated into the situation, and you don't like them, but you're talking about them. Maybe it's vendors, maybe it's customers, maybe it's business associates, and you find yourself in a negative frame of mind. You have negative emotion, and you want to say, stop it, stop that talk. Stop talking about that thing in that way. Start talking about it in a different way, in a way that matches what's really going on, and with thoughts that help you to realign with what you want. So if it's, say, you're in a business and it's a vendor relationship that's not where you want it to be, you've got to see the positive aspects of that vendor. You've got to talk more and think more about how it is that you want that experience to be. And that's what allows you to receive that into your experience, right? Vibrate out the one that you don't want and vibrate in the one that you do want. But if you just keep talking about the same thing that you don't like, then you just keep inviting it back and back and back. And you got to stop doing that. That's blocking what you want. That's just letting physical reality get your attention. It's really like an intoxication, this physical reality. It's almost like we're all addicted to physical reality. Like it's the thing we must think about, that when it's in our observation, we think about it and we don't pull ourselves away from it. We're claiming the wrongness of it, or the unfairness of it, or the why me of it. And we get really tangled up with it, and we gotta stop doing that. When we catch ourselves talking in those ways, we just want to practice and say, stop it. Stop talking like that, and start talking about it in a way that lets you receive the experience about it that you want it to be. And again, that could be to do with your health, could be to do with a relationship. In relationships, sometimes people start looking at their partner and they'll see something, and then they'll start talking about it in a way that they don't like. And of course, what are you going to get? You're going to get more of that. That's where the connection is. You've got to stop doing that. Stop talking about your partner like that. Start talking about your partner in ways that you want to experience them. And then you're on that vibrational frequency, and then you can connect there with them. So it's not that we can't have what we want. It's not that it's hard to get what we want. It's all there. It's all easy. But we just got to stop putting the brick wall in there. We got to stop putting the brick wall between where we are and what we want. And that brick wall is nothing more than thoughts like, life is unfair, or I can't have what I want, or why is this always so hard, or it's going to take a lot of money, or I may be stuck, or all these things. That's the brick wall. That's what's blocking you from receiving everything that you want. So it's time to stop blocking the things that we want, and it's time to start allowing them. And this is how we do it. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for today. Thanks for listening in. If you have any comments, leave them on the post, and have yourself a great day.